Thank you all for coming this evening. We're going to start things off tonight. If any of you, I take it a few of you at least are into breakdancing. Yeah. Pop it and lock it. And we're going to have a contest up on stage for a $20 gift certificate, 4 Mondo t-shirts. Furthermore, we're going to have 2 very special judges for the contest this evening. I would like to introduce to you now the creator of Breakin, David Zito, and the star, Boogaloo Shrimp.
Hello, Austin. There's a shrimp in Texas. I told you I had to come. I love you guys. Thanks for having me, Alamo.
Yes, thank you very much for coming. I just want to say that I'm twice as delighted as anybody here. For me, it's a vindication. I had this argument on the set every day while we were making this movie. Are we making a hit movie? Are we making a bomb? Are we making history? Is it a fad? Well, I think the fact that we're all here tonight to enjoy this movie proves that I was right.
We're not worthy. And I gotta admit, this is one of the best parts of time right now because we're getting back. Breaking, and these films represent the user-friendly, the nice side of hip-hop. And with all the negative stigma attached to hip-hop, it's time to get back to the physical aspect, the fun, the music. You know it. We are the 80s.
All right, so
Get this going.
by popular demand, we're having a dance contest.
That way you guys can rip it up.
Some of the locals wanted it, so here it is. Dancers? Where are they?
We're looking for you guys. Because we know some of you can dance. You came in, you made a little move.
Get up there.
Hey, look at this, look at this. We got it for our first contestant. Woo. Hey, come here. What's your name?
Connor.
Connor? Tell us about what you're going to do.
I just taught myself how to break dance, basically.
Excellent.
That's the way it works. We got another one. Or one more.
Oh, we got one more? Hello, what's your name, sir?
Presley.
Presley. What are you going to be doing this evening? You're going to do a little, you know, a little wait. All right. Hey, do we have any more contestants for this evening?
One more. One more.
One
Who
more.
we got?
Uh-huh. What's your name, sir?
Welcome.
Paul something or other.
What are you going to be doing this evening, Paul?
A little popping and locking, maybe.
Ice Paul.
Look at these. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Travis.
Excellent. What are you going to be doing tonight, Travis?
Well, I'm really just gonna have fun with it. You know, this is a moment of a lifetime, so you know, I'm just gonna do whatever.
Excellent. And your name, sir? My name's James. James, what are you going to be doing?
The best I can.
Excellent. Let's line up towards the stage for me if you could, guys. All right, guys, last call for dancing. There's no girls up here.
One girl to represent. Come on. Oh, here's another dancer.
Here he comes. Give it up.
Here's the hit.
Man in the house representing.
The hip hop.
He's the kid.
What's your name?
April. This is Gabriel.
Okay, you gonna dance for us? Go get him.
Right on. There you have it. Now we're going to have solos. Give it up. That'll sure wake you up in the morning. Work those abs. So we're going to go down the line. We're going to feature each dancer by themselves. That way you can see them showcase their movements. We're going to start from this side, and now that they're all warmed up, and go all the way down to the end. So, what's your name again?
James.
Everybody, this is like American Idol. Vote for James. This is James Solo. He's going to represent West Side. Don't be hating. Go for it. Give it up for our first contestant, Travis. Now our next contestant, it's an immigrant. Got to give it up for Gabriel. Representing.
Mime work.
And we have contestant number 3. Ready? Well, you gotta let your name. Give a shout out. Give it up for Big Travis. Representing. And we got contestant number 4. What's your name again? Carter. Give it up, Carter. Connor, I'm sorry. My
Connor.
bad. Give it for Connor. Moving on down the line. And we have, what's your name again? Presley. Give it up for Presley. Represent. Alrighty. Woo. Last but not least, give it up for Paul. Represent.
Local talent.
Hip hop is definitely here in Texas. It's here.
Now comes the hard part.
Now's the hard part.
We gotta
But
pick one.
I tell you what,
Do it by
William,
applause.
you know what? The best way I think is by applause. We're gonna do this applause thing, David.
Okay, hold on.
Do the honors.
All right.
Contestant number one.
Give it up.
Contestant number two, David.
Travis.
Travis. Connor. Presley.
Give it up.
Paul.
And Paul.
We got a winner. Paul. We got a winner.
Paul.
Give it up for Paul.
Paul. You get a gift certificate as the break-in winner for one T-shirt from Mondo Tees. There you go.
Give it up for Paul.
As a consolation prize, all the runners-up, I'll buy you all a drink after the show. Meet me at the bar.
Right on.
Coca-Cola for the one.
Right on, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give it up.
Give it up for local talent.
Right on. Oh, you guys were great. Keep representing. Right on.
Elvis, leave it alone.
All right, you guys. I guess we're going to cue it up. The first.
Are you ready for breaking? I myself have not seen this movie in a theater in 22 years.
Just remember
I'm staying
this.
here to watch it with you.
Remember this one thing. This was before, Honey, You Got Served and all the Save the Last Dance. This is the movie that gave the respectability to street dance culture. Don't forget that. And it also inspired a dance lesson with somebody that, well, we'll talk about that later. Enjoy the movie.
our dreams. And though as impossible as it may seem, you can make it with true motivation. Hard working with determination. From graffiti, DJing, rapping and dance. For most city youth, it's their only chance to gain recognition and make their name. And possibly if they're lucky, start in fame. So when you see them try, stop and watch, don't pass them by. Other people just like you trying to make their dreams come true. You looking at death, man. Come on, sucker, right now. She was good.
I'm better.
What do you think you are anyway, President here? This story through, but wait till part 2.
Greetings. Is that awesome or what? Woo! Man, a lot of people came together to put this show on, and obviously we're going to get the host of the night back up here real quick, though. I'm Karen, I'm the general manager of the theater. Just a reminder that after the Q&A, those folks who only had 7 o'clock tickets, we're going to need you to get up and exit as expeditiously as possible. You folks who bought double bill tickets, you just stay in your seats. We're going to quickly try and clean around you as a crew and get ready to let in that small percentage of people who didn't buy double purchase tickets. And with that, William, taking over the rest of the night. Thanks.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank, there were a lot of people that helped put this on tonight. We had Scion offer a lot of sponsorship that helped us fly Shrimp and David Zito here. Obviously, if you like what you hear tonight, you can buy it at Backspin Records. And we also have the Austin Museum of Digital Art, who, is the one source in town where you can find, a lot of culture like this still happening. So now, without further ado, we're going to have our 2 special guests tonight answer some questions for you guys. And so again, it's the creator David Zito and Boogaloo Shrimp.
Held up pretty well, huh? I'm amazed.
Gotta say this. This is no strings attached. My David Copperfield moment.
Good work.
Super. Anyhow, I think real quick, because this movie has a lot of energy, a lot of power. One of the things I want to continue to emphasize, there was a lot of information coming through there. The style of dance that I was doing is my style, called, oh sorry, we're getting feedback, like this, liquid animation, based on, audio, based on mime, robotics. I had been watching Marcel, the great French mime. I had been watching science fiction films, Ray Harryhausen, Clash of the Titans. I was looking at all that stuff at that young age, and I was trying to perfect not being boring as a solo dancer. If you notice, there were more solos in the one singular, the chorus line. We had to come up with our own stuff to actually get credibility and to let Hollywood take a chance and start hiring us. So when you look at my style, I had no idea that I was that cutting edge until this guy, Mr. Jackson, he contacted me and he's like, I really want to work out with you. You move really fast, you're like a little Jackie Wilson. And the way that came about was really interesting. These are wonderful experiences. Just before this film, I was on tour with Lionel Richie, the great Lionel Richie. I'm the little black kid in the All Night Long video. That's my glory shot. Right after that, don't forget, I was the kid in Shaka Khan's video. I feel for you, Shaka Khan. Yeah, so those things led up to this film. And because Lionel Richie was a good friend of Michael Jackson, right after we got off All Night Long, he goes, you got to see this kid, this guy. He moves. He's like feet of flames. You got to get him. So I got a chance to work out with Mr. Jackson and help him with his solo movements. And, you know, the rest is history. I mean, when he danced, if he didn't see me, I was somewhere in the background. Me and my shadow. You know, and it was more than the moonwalk, you know. You can see the year was 1984, and people are like, wow, what did you do for Michael Jackson? Well, if you saw the way that he moved after, you know, I'm gonna rock with you know, those days, to dangerous style. When he was doing that, I tend to imitate people when I'm around them. I just don't have a monkey on my back, but we won't go there. No, literally. Do it sober. The thing is, seriously, and I have comedic timing. The thing is, you know, people always say, "Well, how did that come about? You and Michael Jackson, whatever." And the truth is out there. If you look at the dance style from how he was dancing in '83 to '91, it speaks for itself. So I will let David take it over. David, you want to add some stuff?
You know, I wonder if there's any questions out there. People are
Questions?
curious about something?
There they are.
She's first, right there.
My inspiration, the best thing. I was a 70s kid after Go Grease Lightning. I mean, think about it. Everybody that grew up with Grease and Saturday Night Fever became something great. You know, so that kind of thing was happening. John Travolta, for me, is one of the world's greatest dancers. He's give it up for John. He is underrated. He's a great actor, but he did pull off those dance moves. It was no stunt work. So I was inspired by all that great work, but the biggest inspiration was Ray Harryhausen, which this guy, he created stop motion characters like Clash of the Titans, you know, Jason and the Argonauts. So when I was watching stuff like that, believe it or not, before I went to school to show up, I actually wanted to be one of those skeletons. And it made me kind of move like that. Ray Harryhausen, representing West Side.
No questions?
Next.
She actually raised her hand first.
I'm sorry. You know what? I have newer steps, and I consider myself like a body illusionist or whatever. Everything is like totally, it's more up to date. Do you have They want me to do it to this. A demonstration in your face. Where's the beat, 3D? Who's it? The telephone song, the uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Sing it with me. She asked for it.
I got one thing to say about that.
I'm an illusionist.
Right after we started pre-production on this movie, we found out about this other movie called Beat Street. Yeah, we were already well into this, and what we heard was that Harry Belafonte had partnered with David Picker, a major Hollywood producer. They were in New York, in the Bronx. They had the B-boys, the actual B-boys, in the Bronx with a big studio budget. And there was a period for about a week or two where we were just in despair because we said, how can we compete with this big budget studio movie?
Yes, sir.
And exactly. We got a hold of that Chaka Khan video. We saw the kid, and I said, we can beat Beat Street.
I gotta interject. I really am appreciative that people in Hollywood took a chance on me because you know what? I was just doing it for fun, but I was a warrior. I wanted to make sure, just like the bandana and the whole Japanese thing, I was a samurai of dance, man. I said, I'm doing this for my mom. I said, I ain't the richest, I don't own property, but I can outdance you, sucker. It's like, I'm gonna let my talent speak for myself. And then, the rest is history. So it was really interesting to know that I didn't need a whole group like Beat Street or all these guys. One man, one stage, one show.
We got the kid, and the wind filled our sails, and the whole production picked up, and we never looked back. It was all about the kid.
I saw online on IMDb that there's a Breakin Revolution in pre-production for 2007. Is this related because it has the three names? It has TKO Crew.
Yeah, it's sort of related. Actually, this is a production that Shabadoo has been shopping around for a while. I talked to him about it a year ago. I wish him the best of luck. It's not what we're doing, but we're doing something.
The thing that I want to interject with that, what's really cool is there's a momentum that's still growing, and a lot of people, I got emails from a lot of people going, wow, when You Got Served came out and when the millennium hit, people forget, dance was like dormant. Everybody was into the Tupac, the West Side, East Coast thing, and it was really thuggish and dark. It had a negative stigma. Hip hop, oh no, let's not have that party. And the thing is, it's the truth. The gangsters were not trying to be poppers. They were trying to eat in your face. And all those images came in the posters and whatnot. And that was their form of expression, but it was never mine. And the thing is, breakdancing became soft and popping became soft. People were like, you know what? These guys are too square for hip hop. And we just went away. I had to get work in Europe. I couldn't get work here because I wasn't ghetto enough, more or less, right? So with the Breaking 3, I think the momentum now, people realize what we got out of hiring gangsta rap, and everybody's coming back to a happier time when dance was physical, fun, happy, and universally accepted. You know what I'm saying? It was a uniting thing. That's what we need right now. This is the time where everybody needs to get back together, all the cultures, doing one thing in common, that's having fun, like Americans do. That's what we do. We can have fun. We will be free. No fear. That's right. We got to have fun. That's just the way Americans are. We have to have something that unites us and lets everybody say, look, we're an example to the world. And with that part of hip hop, I'm very glad to be a part of it. To be a part of something that unites us. United we stand. I love it. That's kind of cool.
I would also add to that, the Breakin' Revolution, if you go and look at that information on the IMDb, it sounds very familiar. It sounds like someone's trying to return to the past. And you can't go back to the past. The way to reclaim your past is to move forward into the future.
Oh, I'm sorry. I also skipped over this. With the Breaking 3, I didn't consent to sign to that. They're using my name.
It's not attached.
In conjunction with the movie.
It has your name on it.
I know, but
We got the lawyers working on that.
we know how the internet is. But it's interesting because it's actually sparking curiosity and working against the people that put my name on there in conjunction with it. People were like going, they know me and David are doing something, so they kind of assume that it's our deal. But if you notice, his name's not attached to it. He was the creator of Breakin'.
I've often said that, hip hop's middle name is opportunity. Hip opportunity hop. But sometimes it goes a little too far.
Real far. There's a question over there, lady with the Puma. Representing. She came with a Puma purse. That's hardcore. That's hip hop right there. Right on. What's your question?
Okay, how did you find out that Jean-Claude Van Damme was such a good dancer?
You know what's really interesting? There was so much stuff on the internet, and I'd been focused on music and my acting career, and I didn't really care so much about having, the technology of a computer. I just couldn't fathom sitting down, like just being idle looking on the internet. That wasn't me. I'm like turbo, the energy. I have to go. So, I got into technology late, but people were going, "Oh, you got to see the Breaking website." The Breaking website, and I think it's like www. Fast Rewind, the 80s or something like that, where they have this whole thing on the Breaking trivia and this and that. And one of the biggest things was people discovered that Jean-Claude Van Damme was an extra in Hollywood, and I found out later. I didn't even know who the guy was at the time.
I'm still trying to figure out after 22 years how he ended up as an extra. Because I know for a fact he went to a meeting with Menachem. He did his whole kickboxing routine.
He probably couldn't speak English.
Menachem, well, he actually could speak a little English, but he was the world kickboxing champion or something like that at the time. He came to Hollywood with the idea of being a movie star. Someone told him, Menachem Golan, he's making these ninja films, you ought to go see him. He went to see Menachem. He did a whole demonstration in his office, ending in the split with the two chairs, whatever. Menachem said, "I'll do your movie." And Jean-Claude said, "You'll do my little movie?" And Menachem said, "I don't do little movies. I do big movies. And I'm doing the biggest movie in the world, breakdance." And he said, go down. And he told Jean-Claude to go down to Venice the next day to see on the set. Now, how did Jean-Claude Van Damme end up as an extra? To be an extra, you got to show up at 6:30 in the morning. You got to sign in. Did he get caught in the shot? And it's like, okay, buddy, you're here for the day? What happened? How did he become an extra? And not only is he an extra, he's digging it. But that's not to take away anything from Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was the world kickboxing champion. He connected with the physicality of the dancing. He dug it. Everybody back then dug it.
It's really cool. The one scene in Breaking where we go to the country bar is really interesting. Chuck Norris's brothers, the guys that did the martial arts, they were the stunt people. If you look at the credits, I found out years later that everybody wanted to be attached to that movie to help their careers. And the Norris brothers, before they did all the great stuff, those are the guys. That's why they're doing martial arts.
They were doing Missing in Action in the office next door, and they just couldn't help but get in on our thing.
We got to be with these kids. You look at the great actor Christopher McDonald. He's had a wonderful
it wasn't just
career.
them. You go down the list of the people for whom that was their first movie. It includes Ice-T, of course, Chris the Glove Taylor. It includes Leela Rashand. You saw her as an extra as well. It also includes Christopher McDonald. He's had a long and really fantastic career. He's really an excellent actor. First movie, I remember when he came into audition, and he did a great audition. I said, "You're going to be a major actor. You're really good." In the movie, everybody in the movie. I had 14-year-old girls coming up on the set with their cardboard. Can we be in the movie? Like, all right, show me what you got. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, okay, go over there and sign in. You're in, and they're in. They're in the movie. It was like that. It was wide open.
This is interesting.
I'm the only person that's not in the movie. Let's put it that way.
As we approach part 2, we had another gem that in the movie. There's a little girl, Kimberly McCullum, when we do the car wash. She's really cute, and she has the pigtails, and she's a little dancer, and she has the blue shirt that says Miracles. Look her up on the IMDb. I think she's on, I forget the name, but it's a very prominent, popular daytime soap opera. Kimberly McCullough. She
What's it happening?
I think it was Days of Our Lives or one of them. But hey, that was like her first gig, and right after that,
It's a long list
Boom.
of people connected to that movie.
one more
One
question.
more question?
Oh,
Pick one.
you sir.
Yeah, you were speaking about the big Hollywood production. What was y'all's budget versus what was y'all's return on the movie?
Was sick.
Budget? I know exactly these figures because of the lawsuit that followed. 1.9 million was what it cost. Our original budget was supposed to be 1 million, and we were going to come in at 1 million, but as it went along, you know, it became more and more apparent to everybody that we were onto something, and so the purse strings loosened a little. Still brought it in at 1.9 million. It grossed for the company, for Canon Films, 28 million. So they, right there is a $26 million profit. There were all sorts of ancillary deals, you know, that brought that up to, you know, about 40, 50 million that they made on their 1.9 million investment. But then, Menachem and Yoram, they went to Wall Street about 2 months after this movie opened and raised 70 million just like that. In fact, and that money, that was so successful that they went back 3 months later and raised another 110 million. That's where they got the money to buy MGM.
That was sick. All right, you guys.
I got a little piece of that. Took me 5.5 years.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Stay awesome. Okay, folks, please excuse our staff as they work as expeditiously as possible. They're going to come through and try and clear away as many dirty items. If you have a drink in front of you that you want to hold on to, please pick it up. Hold it. So that they don't take it on accident. And we're going to quickly clean around you who are staying in the theater. Those who only bought 7 o'clock tickets will be exiting. And the remaining seats will go to the people who only bought 9:45 tickets. We'll have another Q&A. Also remember, Shrimp will be out in the front selling autographs and photos. So if you want to help out his current efforts and throw a little cash his way for being the talent that he is, I encourage you to go out and get an autograph. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the second half of our incredibly fucking action-packed double feature here tonight. So can I get a round of applause for the people that have been here for two of the films tonight? I am 35 years old. That puts me, right in the mid-'80s in high school. These two films were very, very deeply influential to me as a young man. They made me the sort of shell of a man that I am today. So I hope that the rest of you, how many people here were born between the ages of 1967 and 1974? I believe that you are the generation that was deeply influenced, I'm not going to say scarred, but influenced by the Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo influence, and it has defined everything I've become from age 14 until today. And when AMODA said, "Do you actually want to bring Breakin' and Breakin' 2 to the Alamo Drafthouse?" There was basically a 0.05 second pause where I said, "Fuck yeah, man! This is going to be the greatest single night that this cinema has ever seen." And here we are. You guys are experiencing that with Mibby. And I am so happy and so proud to be here, a part of this experience. So right now, I'd like to pass the microphone to William with AMODA, who made this all possible. So big round of applause to our sponsor tonight. Thank you. Man. Tim said fuck a lot. But he's right. You know, a lot of people grew up watching this movie. I mean, I don't think I've stopped watching these movies since 1984, and it's great to see them like this again. And again, when we approached Tim, I got, I'm a little hesitant. I had never talked to these people before, and I get this email back that says, "Tim Lee is very interested." So, I'd just like to thank a couple more people real fast, including Tim, and his wonderful wife Carrie, who've given us a great place to stay while we're here. Kayla for helping set it up. Backspin Records, especially Eric, Hillary, and Zach, our DJs tonight. You guys can give it up for them. Of course, AMODA and Scion, our two sponsors. I'd also like to thank Jay, Solange, Angel, Ben, and Ed for all they've done. And you guys, you got an incredible wait staff who are just busting their ass tonight for both shows for you guys. So don't forget to tip these guys and help them out. What we're going to do now is, for those of you who missed it in their first half, we had a little bit of a breakdancing competition. And if you guys were in the first one, I'm sorry, it sort of disqualifies you for the second one. However, there were a lot of people who've been at both shows. We sold like 100 million tickets beforehand, and I didn't see half you guys up here. So there's a lot of you who haven't danced, and after a few beers, I think you're just about right for our competition. So, with that said, think about what you're going to dance to, how you're going to dance, and right now I'm going to introduce our two special judges and our two special guests this evening. The creator of Breakin', David Zito, and the king of Poppin' and Lockin', Boogaloo Shrimp. Give it up for William. Bringing us down here. Thanks a lot, William. Thank you, Tim, and the Drafthouse. Well, we're going to start this dance contest.
Yeah, I would just like to say, before the first movie showed, I said I was twice as delighted as anybody here, and now I'm like twice as delighted as I was before. Watching that first one up there, on screen, it's just like, going back 22 years, like it happened yesterday.
And
thanks for coming, and thank you, Austin, for showing us a great time.
thank you, Austin, from the bottom of my heart. You guys, it's overwhelming, the love here in this city and the reception. And I'm honored. I'm very flattered. So thank you guys for supporting me. Much love to all you guys. This is wonderful.
Austin is very hip.
And I like your barbecue.
All right, so we're going to have a little dance contest.
Need some dancers to come up here and show your moves.
Who is going to enter?
Who's entering the dance contest?
We had, come on. We had no girls last time.
There she is.
Do we have any girls? Let's go.
Come on, you guys.
Come on. Come on, here's the couple.
Yeah. There he is. And we got Xavier in the house.
Okay, your name?
It's Xavier. Here we go.
Anybody else? Come
Anybody
on,
else?
come on.
Let's have some fun.
And you are?
Here's Tim Lee. Hey, we need Tim Lee. Another. Right on.
Representing the girls. Katie and
Tim, you got to get
Melinda.
up here and represent.
one more. Come on.
Hey, one more. Come on, you guys. Have some fun.
There we
There
go.
he is. Yeah, he is.
And Tim, you're in? You're in?
Right
Come
on.
on.
You get another one?
There we go. We got dancing.
Right on.
Your name? Nathan.
Nathan and his nickname is Smurf. He's
Melinda,
gonna bust a
Xavier.
move. Oh, we got another one. What's your name? Renee's gonna bust a
Electra.
move. Yeah. Alrighty, man.
All right. Is that it? Any more?
Any more?
Last chance. Come
Last
on.
chance. Bust a move.
Come on.
All right, it's time
This
to
is
play.
your last chance to be a star tonight. All right. Let's go. On stage.
Okay, everybody, make your way to the stage.
We're going to start with a group jam and then solo.
Then it's a solo. Pump 'em up. Woo, got our contestant. Local Austin talent on. All right, give it up. That was a warm-up. Awesome. Timmy! Now that their adrenaline's going and they're all warmed up, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have a solo beginning here and any last over there. And first up, what's your name? Nathan. We got Nathan. Give it up for Nathan, a.k.a. Mr. Smurf. Give it over Nathan. Right on. And contestant number 2. That is Xavier. Got Xavier represented. Bust a move. Right on. That's Xavier, contestant number 2. And moving on down the line, we got contestant number 3. What's your name? That's Melinda. Give it up for Melinda, the first woman. Right on. Right. And moving on down the line, contestant number 4. Electra. Electra, give it up for Electra. Awesome stuff. Moving on down the line, you get contestant number 5, and your name is? Let's give it up for Renee. Move. Moving on down the line. The Timster, Tim representing. And he's gonna give it up. Much love. David, you want to do the honors? It's going to be by way of...
Shrimp and I couldn't possibly choose, so we're going to leave it to you.
Yeah.
The applause meter.
That's right.
Xavier.
Electra. Melinda. Round moves. The Timster. Sorry, Tim. It's close second. It's Electra. We got a winner.
Do we have a prize, William? Okay, well, Mondo Tees, one for you. And again, for all the runners up, a drink for you at the bar after the show. See me.
We need an encore solo, David.
Encore. Yes, Electra.
We need an encore for the winner. Give it up for Electra. Bust a move. Go.
Talent. All right, thank you. You get your prize later.
All right.
Are you all ready for Electric Boogaloo 2?
Well, let's get the show on the road.
I have to make a confession. I've never actually seen this movie in the theater. My first time.
Fine, let's have some fun.
Where is William? Hi, William.
All right, guys, we're gonna do another Q&A with the two masters of this movie. Also, again, don't forget to tip your wait staff. And ask questions, guys, because some of you guys are quiet. We sold a lot of double bills for so many quiet people. And it's good to see you dance. So maybe we can keep it up with a Q&A. And again, I would like to introduce David Zito, the creator of Breakin, and the star and talent of all these movies, Boogaloo Shrimp.
You got a microphone?
No, not yet. Getting into your shirt. Boy, this has been a lot of fun. Interesting. Watch that thing there. I think the biggest thing that I'd like to start off with, one of the importancies important messages of this movie. After the success of the first film, I think that Hollywood realized if we keep these people dancing, we'll have less crime rate. You can see the messages: save our street and save our streets. And we had the DARE program at the time. The LAPD and the sheriffs were trying to have programs for these kids that were actually on the borderline of becoming hardened felons and stuff like that, to do something positive. And you know what? That's one of the reasons why it was a little more Hollywood and glamorized and a little pretty, with the message just kind of just boom, save our streets. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, in Los Angeles right now as we speak, if you watch the news, what's going on, there's a black and Latino thing. I mean, it's in the jail system and it's bleeding out into the communities. And I mean, it's like people have their hands full. And one of the best things about being part of this film, look at the black and Latino harmony. We had people of all races in the community doing something positive. Everybody was happening. Everybody was active and physical. And you know what? That was one of the hardest neighborhoods in Los Angeles. That's East Los Angeles. Hazard, white fence, these really well-known gang areas. They allowed us to have a full-on production, and it was not a black and Latino thing. People were like, you know what, as long as you guys are doing something positive and you're happy, let's do it. And we need to get back to that. So I really wanted to put that out there. We need more vehicles like this. Some of these kids and some of these people, they don't have a lot of money. I mean, they're what they are because of their circumstances, but some of them have, the noble intentions of being conducive citizens and not joining gangs and, getting into crime or whatever. But if they have a vehicle or certain things where they can go and dance and get physical, then, I think you would see a lot more of that kind of unity. And so I love this message, and I hope it continues. I hope it continues to inspire people. Are showing an example of love and hospitality, and the thing is, I'm going to bring that back to Los Angeles and let them know there's a lot of love in Texas. Thank you.
I have two things to say about this movie, now having finally seen it on screen in its entirety for the first time. One positive and one critical thing to say. On the positive side, I am very impressed about how good everybody looked in this movie. And I'm really happy that you all got a chance to make another movie. Although, Shrimp, you looked a little thin in the movie.
There's a reason for
They
that.
must have been working you very hard.
And I don't, you know what? I was talking to somebody earlier about that. They were really working me hard. Can you imagine? They did this back to back at the same time the movie Breakin' came out. Right after the film was finished, the Israeli company said, Shrimp, you have to go to Israel. You have to continue the Cannes Film Festival. We need this guy. Keep going. And I was just like, hey, thanks for giving me a job. Thanks for the love, but this is a little bit overbearing. Can you imagine? We didn't have gyms. We didn't have treadmills. We just had our natural raw stamina and our talent. But to dance like that and be on 24/7, I didn't have any rest. My mother said, you know what, I don't like Electric Boogaloo because you look exhausted. I see the bags under my eyes. If anything, I would get a power cappuccino or whatever, but I couldn't retain any weight. But that's the beauty of dance. If you guys could get into, I know Austin's into health and everything. If you want to break the regimen of just going to a regular fitness thing or doing a machine, take up dance. It's the best activity. It will get you in shape. It will. That's fine.
Like I was saying, you looked a little thin, but everybody else.
But there was a reason
looked
for
really
it.
Good. Lucinda looked absolutely fantastic, and you all look like you're having fun. And I'm really happy that you all got to make another movie. Now, the negative thing.
Uh-oh.
I did maintain a relationship with certain people in the Canon organization. You build allies and friends, even though there are difficulties. We were involved in a lawsuit against Canon to get our share of the profits almost right after the first one came out. And that's why my partner and I didn't really have anything to do with the sequel. However, I did talk to people in the organization, And they asked me, what do you think the sequel should be? What do you think about it? And my advice to them was, you've got a Native American art form created here in Long Beach and Oakland, and of course in the Bronx, the breakdancing. But the poppin' was created there in California. This art form is very much like jazz music. And if you're going to show it correctly, you must do a show one-on-one, solo improvisation. It's got so many similarities to jazz music. Avoid large Broadway-style numbers. This was my advice, and of course they did not take it. It's almost like as if you did a movie about the early days of jazz music, and you never showed Charlie Parker doing a solo. You never showed Satchmo playing by himself. All you showed was the Glenn Miller Orchestra, you know, the big bands, and that's not what it's about. And so, you know, that's my take on the thing, is that that's kind of a wonderful movie, and I'm glad you all had fun, but it really kind of drifted away from what street dancing is really about. Because street dancing is about putting a camera on a great street dancer from head to toe, without any cutting, without any editing, and showing us the dance. And they really didn't do that, with the exception of one number for you and one number for Shabadoo up on the roof, and you on the ceiling. They really didn't do that, and that's why I'm a little disappointed. However, all of you looked really good, and that makes me happy. That makes me glad, because, you know, frankly, I think the dancers were under-rewarded for having created this, you know, art form, poppin', and then doing it so well. That was kind of my feelings. Now we have time for like 2 questions.
Yeah, I just want to interject this, because we're going to be leaving tomorrow before the questions. I want to keep reinforcing this. I think the biggest thing about this movie is the fact of the Black and Latino unity. Okay,
I agree with
these
that
are the
totally.
kids. Well, it's just something that's
100%
happening
agree.
right now, and as long as there's vehicles that are conducive for them to, you know, flourish and do something instead of joining a gang or committing a crime, then so be it. I mean, it's all about the kids. We want people to be better. That's the Save Our Streets, the DARE program, anything that helps people be better, I'm all for it. Some people are like, oh yeah, you know, yada yada in the lip service, but if we don't have anything out there, what else are you going to do? You know, you have to give, for every action, you have to give, you know, a reaction. And this is something that I'm proud of. I'm glad that they took a chance on us to have a second film. You see kids right now dancing or whatever, okay, they need more vehicles. If they want to stay healthy, so be it. As long as there's schools or there's some sort of function for them to do it, they're going to continue creating and being counteracting the negative stigma, the gangster rap and the hardcore. We don't need that. Those guys, they're not going to last. They need to be on Ellis Island somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We want happy people and fit people, so we need to get back to that, and I love that, and I wanted to make sure that was there. So we need some questions. Open up the floor, and there he is, James.
Yeah, I got a question. In the scene where you're dancing around the room on the ceiling, I assume you're on like a rotating set.
The room is called a gimbal.
It matched so well with the music. Was it difficult for you to keep with the beat? Was that a magic?
I was on God's clock. I was always in real time.
Are you in the, just improvising the dance or?
Everything at that time was improvised.
Right on.
Thank you. But the difficulty was I did get motion sickness because that was a manufactured set inside this big version of a hamster wheel, more or less. You can get the mental picture. They're like, shrimp, action. I get inside this set and the room is turning the light, but I still have to have my shiny brights. Starts riding in these. I'm like, wow. But this was like the first time they experimented with me, a street dancer. I mean, Fred Astaire did it in Royal Wedding, you know, in the Poltergeist movies, the lady in The Nightmare on Elm Street or whatnot. But to dance, all I had to do was I had one day, actually a half a day of rehearsal to just kind of get the feel of, okay, when is my transition? And that's when you see me kind of doing my little shtick, yada, yada, yada. But the mirror is coming. Now I need to do the one finger push up and, hi, Mom, bye. You know, hi, bye. I'm like, I was improvising a lot of that. But the effect, actually, best thing about that room, I was on tour with Lionel Richie. I'm the kid in the Lionel Richie video all night long. He was a good friend of mine, and he helped me start off in the business. After that scene, it inspired the song "Dancing on the Ceiling." Give it up for Lionel Richie. He ended up using the room and dancing on the ceiling.
I would add that that's
Kinda
another parallel with jazz music, the improvisational quality, making it up as you go along. Again, jazz music.
I had a question about the music, and especially in the first movie, the like how you went about, or where you got the recommendations for the music and stuff like that.
Music? Well, the music on the original Breakin' was put together by a man named Russ Reagan, who was just a master at finding unusual, one-of-a-kind pieces of music that happened to fit the scenes. He also did the soundtrack for Flashdance. Flashdance and Breakin' almost in the same year. It's a pretty good trick. And yeah, he did save Breakin' at the end by coming in with a great soundtrack. It was a huge help. The music for the sequel, I don't know. I don't think Russ was involved in the sequel, was he?
Well,
although I thought the music was okay in the sequel. There's a lot of things I like about the sequel now that I've seen it.
As far as I was concerned, because I had to execute my dance steps for my solo, I really loved the fact that they were listening to what the music was behind creating the steps. People actually followed us to the clubs. They got into our world. We weren't actors, although I improvised everything and I pulled it off. But as far as being a dancer, there was a whole science behind the art form, and the music was conducive to executing those steps. The whole breathing, the stamina, the power behind the dance, that's the perfect song for the broom dance. And I think a lot of people that were in charge of picking the music, they understood there's certain music that goes with popping, which is the mime style, which I'm known for, and there's certain music that goes with the breakdancing, which is the spinning. There's two different styles of music, and once they're tailor-made, it's like jazz or ballet. You know, they're doing their numbers to like Mozart and stuff that's tailored to that particular style. So we, in Like Mind, had the same thing, you know, and we still haven't tapped into electronic funk, meaning I was brought up on Depeche Mode and The Cure and all that stuff. All the 80s. I would love to see more of the marriage between electronic funk and the style of dance that I do, because it's harmonious. You know, there's something there. Hopefully there's some footage of me. I did a live show, and people were like, okay, what is he gonna do now? I came out to a song, "Man in the Box" by Green Jolo. I'm the man in the box. And people were like, wait a minute, you can dance to that? I also, for a Christmas show, I said, okay, I'm gonna go and do my version of the Nutcracker. And they were like, wait a minute, I did Beethoven's Fist. It's beautiful. It takes it to another level. So hopefully in the future we'll see that, you know. It transposes into everything. William. I cannot see. Oh, yes, that young lady. It's funny. It sounds like a shrimp from Louisiana that you can plug in. There he is. Get him. No, an Electric Boogaloo there. It's greater. No, Electric Boogaloo. But if you take away the electric side, Boogaloo, the word Boogaloo, it's got a little Cajun feel. You know, the Boogaloo joint, the cafe. It's got a Louisiana kind of thing. And James Brown made it famous. It's in the jazz circles. There was even a thing called the Boogaloo. And when popping, the style of popping got popular, I'd say 1979, 1980, when new wave and the beats were faster. Crack that whip, pouch. You had to move to that stuff. It was like a progression of the robot, which in the 70s was real slow. All that the dome on. Everything was slow, but in the 80s we were all moving. Everything was like, so it was ampage. And popping had to progress to move with the music. Makes all the sense in the world. So I think when Boogaloo got its respect, they were like, wait a minute, this is Electric Boogaloo. This is like Boogaloo on steroids. It wasn't the old 70s type of loose thing. It was moving. So that kind of, that word really really was harmonious when the music changed. I mean, 1980, 81, we had the new wave thing merging with funk and electronica. Hopefully that answered the question. Yeah, next. There he is.
I was wondering if there was a story behind the actual building used in the movie, the Miracles building. Is that like an actual movie center, or was that something that was put together for the movie?
You know what's interesting? Back then, there was a real bad gang problem in Los Angeles. I mean, Daryl Gates was the LAPD chief. I mean, LA had its problems. And I think it was a safety issue because just outside of that part of LA was East Los Angeles. It was like the user-friendly side, the 10 freeway. But just beyond that was South Central, the whole real meat and potato of the new crime wave. And I think it was a safe zone for the production because they knew they were going to have production numbers on the street. Back then, if we had did anything south, it would have been a problem with the local residents of the areas because we had, look at the Latinos, the blacks together. They were like, nah, not having it,
We have time for one more.
Yes, sir.
One thing I found interesting was how over the top, what commercial this film was. It was interesting how you said in the first one that they were able to buy MGM with proceeds from that. How did this film do commercially? Did this bomb or did this do all right?
Well, somewhere in between. I think a gross of about 17 million. I'm not totally sure about that number. It, sequels, sometimes they equal the original, but not really. If they get 60% or so of the original, it's considered a success. And in that context, it is a success. Although, quite frankly, I thought there should have been a third and a fourth because there are a lot of stories to tell in this subculture. And the fact that there wasn't a third, I think, detracts a little. But commercially, it did not do that bad. Yeah, I mean, compared to other films of the day, yeah, it did pretty well. That energy carried for a long time. The Breakin' energy. Unfortunately, I guess we have to end now. It's gotten so late. I'd like to stay and answer some more questions, but maybe we'll hang out for a bit.
I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. The support. It just goes to show how far that this dance style can go. It's not so much about the Puma outfit or spinning on your head, but you know what? It's one of those things that in this day and age, for me, I really honestly believe if we can have one unifying thing that brings people together, so be it. People are happy with dancing, dance, have fun.
I have to agree with that 100%. The whole Breakin' experience is proof that great things can be accomplished when people work together.
Thank you, guys. You guys drive safe. Have fun.
Well, not way past it. It's like 5 hours.
Uno, due, tre, quattro.